there's currently a trust recession, right? So it's a very interesting time, whereas in my experience a few years ago, it wasn't really like this at all. It takes significantly more time and more consumption for someone to trust you. A few years ago, you could toss anything up, have a very mediocre funnel, and probably be between a 5 to 10x ROAS. Nowadays, it's just not the same. Hey there, my name is Nick Tan with Consulting Profits, and today I'm super excited to get into the topic and debate of whether or not you should charge low ticket or high ticket for an offer, and how you should actually do so, and what I plan to do with my businesses right now, because I've been seeing this a lot in the coaching, consulting, and agency space, right? There's been a big debate on whether or not you should just charge low ticket or high ticket. And I started even looking into different offers and things like that for myself. And I've come to the conclusion of how I'm going to be doing things. And I do want to preface it with the fact that you can make anything work. I have friends who are crushing it just with low ticket, right? I'm talking like a $97 per month offer. And also high ticket too. There's people selling $15,000 packages all day long, every single day. So you can make anything work. It just depends on what the offer actually is and what value you bring to the table. But do I think there's a strategy on how you can actually merge the two and make a bunch of money doing both? Absolutely. And I'm going to give you my hypothesis on how we're going to be doing it. I'm putting it to the test right now. So far, it's worked incredibly well. I'll share some of those things that I'm doing and that maybe you can implement into your coaching or agency business as well. And I'm excited to share these things because I think this is what's going to allow me to basically scale up my new offers and everything like that to multiple 7 figures very quickly. And the reason why is because it eliminates and builds a lot of trust, right? So anyhow, let's dive right into it. So right now, where we're at kind of in the industry, I would say, is that there's currently a trust recession, right? There's just a lack of trust. People don't really trust any offers right now. If you say you sell anything, people tend to, have a bad misconception of it. Right. So it's a very interesting time, whereas in my experience a few years ago, it wasn't really like this at all. Right. The people were super trusting. People were willing to invest into themselves. Right. So we're definitely now in a huge trust recession where it takes significantly more time and more consumption for someone to trust you. So that means the days of just basically running an ad, like a few years ago, you could toss anything up, have a very mediocre funnel, and probably be between a 5 to 10x ROAS. Nowadays, it's just not the same. And that's just not even in this space. This is like across e-commerce, just overall consumerism, right? And I don't know if you've noticed your own buying patterns, but I for myself, have different buying patterns than I did 5 years ago, right? So I also am in a bit of myself and lacking trust in certain people that I've invested into. Or not specific people, but just in general, right? When I go to invest into someone, I'm doing a lot more due diligence now than I did before. I'm doing, a lot of research myself and things like that. So there's a lot of things when it comes to just like my own buying patterns that I'm learning this off of, right? Now, I don't have any actual proof to back it up. This is just literally from how I'm essentially viewing my own buying patterns. Right. And basically, from what I can conclude, like people don't want to pay for courses or commoditized services. Right. What people want is actual implementation. And the problem is right now is we have too much information. We're in the age of information. You can go source out a bunch of information, right? Everything is on YouTube and you can find all these things. What people want is like an actual roadmap and implementation point as to how to get from point A to point B. So like, yes, there's a lot of information out there, but it's also a lot of work to kind of piece together information. So whenever you're purchasing or buying a service or investing into yourself and getting, a mentor or whatever it is, right? Really, the ultimate goal is to save time. And that's how I like to think about things is like you want to just save someone as much time as much as possible because you can't get time back. You can always make money again, right? But once time's gone, it's absolutely gone. So yes, you can get information, but at the end of the day, you're buying something that's a quick transformation, right? Something that's going to give you the shortcut. The problem is that there's been too many people being burned by these promises. And a lot of the time, these people offering these courses or things like that have not been able to actually do what they wanted for themselves. So for example, a lot of agency coaches, they might have hit one $10,000 month, right? But have never done anything more than that. And then all of a sudden they're selling a course on how to make $10,000. So like, obviously the people in their courses aren't going to have a great experience. And there's been a lot of that happening. So if you actually want to succeed in this space, one, you actually have to get your clients results, right? And actually be able to prove that you've gotten client results, or you have to actually implement an approach that's going to be able to build them trust and get them results in the process of all that. Okay, so that's really the only way to make it now. So prior to, right, this is kind of the main funnel. So you'd have, your traffic, you'd have cold, warm, and hot traffic. Okay, so your cold traffic is going to be straight from ads, cold DMs, whatever it is, right? However you're filling your top of funnel. Warm is going to be people who have maybe seen your stuff. And then hot is like they've been viewing your stuff. They were very close to booking a call, or their hot follow-ups and things like that. And basically, you could run 3 tiers of traffic, right? All of that is typically funneled into a VSL. A VSL being just a quick video sales letter, 5, 10, 20-minute video. Before, very indirect would work really well. Now it's very direct. You see all these different offers where it's like, get this result in 90 days or you don't pay. And people are getting burned and they're sick of these types of offers. So my recommendation is do the exact opposite of that. Don't overpromise. Don't do like some crazy guarantee. By the way, it's just like, I'm seeing a lot of people get hit by the FTC and things like that. And it's a result of not actually being able to deliver for your clients. And I've always been a big proponent of under promising, but over delivering. And when you under promise and over deliver, your clients are significantly happier, right? And I learned that a long, long time ago from when I was house painting back in the day, right? I would like under promise. I wouldn't promise them like this crazy transformation. I kind of downplay it. And then when they did see a crazy transformation, they were like super stoked on it because their expectations were set well. So that would be a huge recommendation for me, because right now the typical VSL funnel is not working. And then when you get on someone's email list, emails used to actually have value to it, right? There used to be like a newsletter where it would almost be like a daily blog or daily information. Nowadays, emails are just like more and more offers. So people are getting pitched 24/7. And then another thing is too, people don't want to opt in, because now if you opt in, there's going to be setters who are constantly outbound dialing you and texting you and trying to basically sell you, right? Like crazy. And then the whole goal is to book a call, long-term follow-up, and then close them using, basically a sales team. So this is great and all, and this worked, but nowadays it's just not sustainable. And the problem is that it's increasingly getting more and more expensive. So if you currently have this funnel, it might be doing okay, and it works okay in new markets, right? I definitely know people who are having success with this funnel, but if you're in like a more of a, I don't want to call it a saturated market, but I would say more of like a sophisticated market where the market's been around, they've seen a lot of these offers, these funnels are going to be very difficult to make work. Like I said, you can make anything work. So this funnel will work. And this is a funnel I've used for a long time. But then I moved away from it because I could feel it wasn't sustainable. The reason why it's not sustainable is you could pay, let's say, $5,000 in traffic, in ad spend and things like that. And you could close $15K in contracts, but only collect $5,000. But then you have to pay out, everyone, right? Setters, closers, if you have a media buyer, whatever it is, right? So all of a sudden your margin shrinks. So one bad month can easily take out a lot of coaches, right? And agencies who are spending a ton of money and only doing like a 1 or 2x or even a 3x ROAS. So it's very, very difficult. And then all of a sudden you're in this game of like, you're in this game where if you just did it organically, right? Like I remember I went through times where I invested so much money into paid ads and it didn't pay off. Whereas like organically, it's all free, right? Your margins are pretty much 100%. So as you scale, you do need paid traffic, but there's a way to do it properly. So let's kind of walk through the hybrid method and what I'm going to be doing and how I'm funneling people into all this stuff. So you're still going to run traffic, right? Paid traffic is still a really great way to grow, right? And organic traffic as well. But instead of going straight to a VSL, I want to essentially, well, the sales process is longer anyways, right? Because of people being in a trust recession. So it's going to take longer anyways. And instead of just driving them to a VSL and trying to force a close, I want people to come to me when they're ready. And how I'm going to do that is by giving out as much value as possible. So instead of running all this cold, warm, and hot traffic to a direct VSL, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually send them to a community, right? This could be a school group or a Facebook group, free or low ticket. So what I'm going to be doing is starting as a free group and then eventually turning it into a low ticket group. The reason why is because I essentially want to only work with serious people, and even at a low ticket price of, let's say like $97 a month, it's going to deter a lot of people I don't want to work with. But either way, it doesn't really matter. Like, one of those, right? The point is you need to have a community. Then what you're going to do is monthly masterclasses. So these could be paid masterclasses you advertise to the public, right? For like $100 to $200. But what's going to be nice is that, let's say you have a low ticket community in here that you're charging a recurring revenue for of like $100 a month. I would give this masterclass to my community for free. So I'm building value into the community, but then what I'm doing is I'm also selling, $100 to $200 masterclasses to the public as well. And what I'm doing is filling up the buying bucket. And then what I can do is either send them to a VSL or straight to book a call when they're ready. Now, it's not the whole, so you're still going to have like the email lists and setters, but the point of it is that you're not just going straight to a VSL and saying, hey, buy from me now. What I'm doing is I'm cultivating a community and building out trust and then sending them to a VSL. The email list is going to be more of a newsletter style, right? Actually giving value and maybe, one invitation for a call to action every so often. But the nice thing is, and here's my plan for it all, is I'm going to do a wait list because I don't need to sell a person, multiple people every single day, right? Most businesses are out there trying to get as many units as possible. I'm trying to build a long-term, I want my customers to actually work with me long-term, not just buy, a one-time thing from me or only work with me for 3 months. So how our offer is set up is more of like a recurring income where I can work with them for like a year, 2 years, or even longer than that. So it's becoming a game of more of retention. So that way I don't need to sell anyone, right? I can retain the customers that I have and be all right, and that's basically where you want to be. You want to get to that point where you don't have to sell anyone. And then the setters, instead of them actually trying to set you, they're actually checking in on you, right? So let's say they're not ready to actually book a call yet, or they're not in the right place for it, or they just don't want to. That's totally fine. We don't have to force it, right? All we want to do then is probably send them back into the community. So super easy. They're just going to get sent back to the school group and say, hey, keep checking out the stuff in the school group. Then they're going to see the monthly master classes. And then eventually when they're ready, they'll come to us because this stuff is going to be so valuable. Okay. And then when someone books a call, they should know how we operate, what we do. They should have trust that I don't need a closer. I just need someone to basically answer questions and logistically help take payments and do admin and answer, any concerns or things like that. But I don't need someone who's actually closing and forcing a sale, right? That's how you get buyer's remorse from people. So that's the new method that I'm actually going to be doing. So how is this actually going to work, right? So basically, this is basically the 3-step kind of ascension ladder, if you will, that I'm going to be following. So free community to start, but eventually will be a low ticket community. So I want it to be very high value, like basically essentially what you would get in a $5,000 to $10,000 course. I'm going to give away the farm, right? So actually get you results. So for example, a very specific result would be like help you make your first $3,000 online. Because if I make you $3,000 online, right, and show you the exact steps and you actually go and implement that and make $3,000 and I'm charging it's a free group, right? And you haven't paid anything. And then I start doing low ticket masterclasses. Well, you'll probably roll $100 or even $200 of this $3,000 into a low ticket masterclass. And that's going to be something I would do monthly, right? And eventually when I start charging for the community, this will be part of the community offer. So then it's two birds, one stone. The community is going to get value, and then public are going to pay $100 to $200 to join this masterclass, which will send them into a high ticket offer. Now, the low ticket masterclass is meant to solve one problem, a very specific problem, and then we essentially invite them to schedule a call if they want us to work with them more closely. Now, the difference between my high ticket offer and a lot of the high ticket offers out there, right? And this is something I've learned from years of running high ticket offers in both agency and consulting space, right? Is that now I'm focused on leveraged consulting. So this can be anywhere between a $5,000 to $15,000 offer that you build out, and it's a very specific outcome. Okay, it's helping someone save time from point A to point B, and it's not just giving them some videos and saying, "Hey, here's the videos, like go implement." It's actually helping them every step of the way, whether that's some done for you stuff, done with you stuff, or actual consulting. But my goal is to be working, and we currently have a group of people that I'm running this offer with, and all I'm doing is every single time we're talking or they're working with my team or however I'm implementing in their business, it's to solve the specific thing that they need to get to that next level, right? So right now, for example, I'm working with an agency owner. She fluctuates between $20,000 to $30,000 a month, right? She basically joined my community, about a couple years ago, and so we've worked together for a while, and basically, she went from zero, like basically knowing nothing, to growing to $10,000, $15,000 a month. We implemented everything we needed to do. And then she stopped working with us to go build, and also was traveling and doing all these things, right? Then now we're working with her again because now she's at between 20 to 30,000, but wants to get to 100,000. So our goal is to take her from 20,000 to 100,000. There's very specific steps we need to do in order to get there sustainably. Working on the offer, team, and all those things. And we're going to help her implement everything. Okay. So it's not just actually a course. It's not actual done for you, but it's a hybrid of each. And that's what a good high ticket offer is, right? It should be leverage consulting. So that's basically my plan to kind of implement these things and how I'm going to start selling people into a high ticket offer. So to answer the question, to conclude and close the loop, should you charge low ticket or high ticket? I don't think it should be either. I think it should be both. And like I said, you can make either or work. I know people who are only charging low ticket. I know only people charging high ticket. And I think there's a healthy medium. I think everything in moderation, right? So if you do this hybrid approach, I think you're tackling two birds in one stone, and you're actually doing a really high value thing for your community where they're actually making money before actually spending high ticket, a high ticket amount on you, right? You're actually earning it in a sense. So that's my plan. Let me know your thoughts. If you agree or if you disagree, let me know why. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. That really helps me out. And let me know what else you guys like to see, or if this content is actually valuable for you. Other than that, I will see you guys very soon. Take care.